There's no doubt that 2009 was the best year in Barcelona's history. They won every possible trophy, and at the same time, they played some of the most beautiful football we've ever seen. And if you ask most football fans what team they enjoyed watching the most since they started watching football, they'll say Pep Guardiola's Barca. But there's one game that kinda ruined everything they did that season. And I'm talking about that semi-final against Chelsea in the Champions League. The one where the referee made so many obvious mistakes that Chelsea players and fans literally lost their minds during and after the match. And of course, the most famous moment you see everywhere when Drogba said, "It's a disgrace." And the whole thing became known as the Stamford Bridge scandal. But if you think the referees made mistakes only in one game, or that only Chelsea were robbed, you're absolutely wrong, because the refs made mistakes in both games, and they also made decisions that were unfair to Barcelona. These two matches were a complete disaster for both teams. And the reason why people only remember Chelsea being robbed is because their decisions were more obvious, and they were the ones who got eliminated. For example, in the first leg at Camp Nou, Chelsea came just to defend, and they were extremely aggressive. But at the end of the game, they only had 2 yellow cards, the same as Barcelona, who were the ones attacking. And the referee kept ignoring so many things. For example, Ballack should have been sent off with a second yellow when he fouled Iniesta while the Barca player was basically through on goal. I mean, Ballack already had a yellow, but the referee only gave a simple foul. That's why Pep Guardiola called that incident scandalous, as he believed it was a totally clear second yellow, especially since Iniesta was literally heading into the penalty area alone. And it wasn't the only mistake the referee made. He also didn't whistle a penalty when it was clear that the right-back Bozingua grabbed Thierry Henry inside the box, and he kept ignoring so many hard tackles, which made the Barca players furious after the game. For example, Yaya Touré said the referee looked like he came to help Chelsea, and Xavi said there were so many actions that were obvious yellow cards, but the ref didn't even call a foul. And Touré got booked just for protesting. And Barca players also criticized Chelsea's way of playing, saying they came only to defend, because the game ended 0-0, and it was the first time Barcelona failed to score at home that whole season. And Chelsea were actually happy with that result, waiting for the second leg at Stamford Bridge to take advantage of their fans. And that's exactly what they tried to do, because after just 9 minutes in the second leg, Michael Essien scored the first goal for Chelsea, which made the Barcelona players stressed and committed a lot of fouls. They were attacking, and Chelsea were defending and relying only on counterattacks. But what they didn't know is that this time the Norwegian referee, Tom Ovrebo, was going to be a nightmare for both teams, but especially for Chelsea. Because in the 24th minute, Dani Alves caught Malouda inside the box, but the referee gave a free kick just outside the area instead of a penalty. Maybe this one we can agree on. The contact started outside and he fell inside. But just 3 minutes later, there was a penalty that nobody can deny, when Eric Abidal pulled Drogba's shirt, and the referee said there was nothing. But it looks like he watched the replay during halftime and realized he messed up, because in the 66th minute, he sent Abidal off for denying a clear goal-scoring chance against Anelka. But as you can see, Abidal didn't even touch him. And that wasn't the only mistake he made against Barcelona, because Ballack clearly touched the ball with his hand when Messi was trying to dribble him. But the referee said Ballack kicked the ball first, and it just bounced onto his hand. Maybe it wasn't a penalty, because even today, people can still argue about it. But in the 81st minute, something crazy happened. And honestly, no one can deny this was a penalty. Nicolas Anelka tried to dribble Gerard Piqué, and Piqué literally stopped the ball with his hand. And again, no penalty. Nothing. But even though the ref kept denying Chelsea a bunch of penalties, they were still winning, and Barcelona were down to 10 men. But all of that changed in the dying minutes, when Iniesta scored that unbelievable goal in the 93rd minute and completely killed the game, making everything even worse for Chelsea. If this happened today, Chelsea would still have the chance to go to extra time. But this was 2009, so the away goal rule sent them off immediately. Still, they didn't give up. In the very last seconds, they got a corner. Everyone went forward, even the goalkeeper. And when the ball dropped to Michael Ballack, he hit it so hard and it smashed into Samuel Eto'o's arm. And that's when Chelsea players went absolutely crazy. Ballack was literally chasing the referee, screaming in his face. But instead of giving a penalty, the ref just blew the final whistle. That's when Bosingwa went on live TV calling him a thief, saying he didn't even know if he was a referee or a thief. But the most famous reaction was, of course, Didier Drogba shouting, "It's a disgrace," at the camera. The manager and the rest of the players also lost it, but no need to mention them one by one. And because of all that, Didier Drogba got a 6-game ban, Bosingwa got 4 games, and Chelsea were fined £85,000 for the behavior of their players and fans. And the referee had to be escorted out of England by the police for his own safety. He later said he received so many threats from Chelsea fans at that time, and even long after. He admitted later that he made a lot of mistakes in that game and he wasn't proud of it. And he said that any referee or any human can mess up sometimes because there are days where nothing goes right. And he said he wishes people would remember him for other games, not just that one. But the truth is, the guy made a lot of mistakes in many other matches too. For example, in Euro 2008, he disallowed Italy's first goal against Romania in a match that ended 1-1. And later, after watching the replay, he admitted that he was wrong. And it's like he had something against Italy, because in 2010, he was the referee for Fiorentina versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Fiorentina had a really good team at that time, and they actually had a chance to go far that year. But he allowed a last-minute goal for Bayern that was clearly offside. And both managers from both teams admitted it was a mistake. The referee first said it was the linesman's fault, but later he also admitted it was his mistake too. And honestly, he committed other mistakes as well, so no need to list them all. That's why in 2010, even though he was in the 14 referee shortlist to represent Europe in the World Cup in South Africa, he had to beat only 3 other referees to be in the final top 10, but he wasn't selected. And just 1 month after they announced the list, he resigned from his position as a FIFA referee and focused only on the Norwegian League. But after just 3 years, in 2013, he announced his full retirement from professional refereeing. And now he works outside football as a psychologist. It's kind of sad how it ended for him. I mean, at least the guy always admitted when he was wrong. But honestly, it's a good thing that today we have technology that protects both the teams and the referees, because at the end of the day, they're human and can make mistakes too.